Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Thanks for stopping by Nobody's Show tonight. Tonight we're going to bring you a couple of cool pieces of drag racing memorabilia and talk about some awesome things happening at the SRCA Dragstrip in Great Bend, Kansas, here where I'm at. If you follow drag racing at all, if you've followed anything to do with NHRA or anything like that, you may have heard of Great Bend, Kansas. Great Bend, Kansas, and the drag strip that we have here today was the home of the very first national event. When Wally Parks formed the NHRA in '51, they formed what was called the Safety Safari that helped promote safe drag racing. After a few years of that, and the popularity of drag racing as it began or continued to build in the early 50s, after World War II, they decided they needed to have a national event to really crown who was the top dog out of all these guys all the way across the country who were joining NHRA and building their cars and going out and racing them. So in 1955, they had that national. So that's and that drag strip today is still very active, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit too, because there's some awesome things going on out there. First off, let's show you a couple of cool pieces of memorabilia that it's all Kansas based. A couple of SRCA pieces and another piece from another B-29 base, which is what Great Bend was. The drag strip was built on a B-29 base. So let's flip the camera around. We'll talk about a few of these things, and then we'll get back to some of the SRCA stuff. We'll come around here, and these are a few pieces out of my collection. First thing I'm going to show you is a copy of the program from the 1955 national event. I should have taken it out of its plastic sleeve already, but I didn't think about that. So there it is. That's an original. It's got a little wear on it. Great Bend, Kansas, September 29th through October 2nd, 1955. This is an original. This thing is 60-some years old. The NHRA Safety Safari. Lots of cool stuff in here. This is some stuff that was actually in this when I bought it, even though this is some other stuff. There's a card from the SRCA with the 1959 schedule on it. That's kind of a cool piece. So, and there's, I think these were the winners of the Nationals in '55. So this is a great piece, you know, sponsored by Mobile back in the day. Awards, pictures of the trophies, lists of the merchandise awards, you know, Chevrolet division, one new Chevrolet V8 engine, each new V8 engine Chrysler, DeSoto, Dodge, Plymouth, presented by the engineering division of Chrysler Corporation, one new Mercury V8 engine, one new Nash V8 engine, Paxton products of McCullough Motors, awards a new McCullough supercharger, all kinds of cool stuff, fuel injection engineering, presenting a Hillborn fuel injector unit, just super cool stuff that, you know, that was a big deal back in the day, but that was it. There was the trophies and the donors, and there were the merchandise awards. So, cool piece. I love to have that in my collection. It's awesome. It's really neat to look at. So, that is from the very first one in 1955. Now, the next piece I've got here, we got at the Hutchinson swap meet here about a month ago. And this is a trophy from the SRCA Dragstrip. And I think this is a mid-60s piece. We actually bought this from the guy that won it. And he thought it was around 64, 65. And he still owns the car that he won this trophy with. It is a little front engine digger with a flathead Ford in it. So it's cool when you can get those from the original guys. And it also pertains, obviously, to the drag strip here in Great Bend, Kansas. So that's always cool. The other trophy I've got here is from the Walker drag races in the mid-60s. Walker class winner, Walker Timing Association from the Walker Army Airfield. Also a B-29 base up by Hays, Kansas, about 50 miles from Great Bend. There were B-29 training bases in Great Bend, Walker, Pratt, and Salina. And that's where our drag strip here, the SRCA drag strip that we have today, that is in use today and still functioning, came from. It was built at that B-29 base. So, hey, Matt's on. Good to see you, Matt. So it's really cool when we think about what we've got here and the history of what's going on at Great Bend with the SRCA Dragstrip. So, speaking of that, we're going to talk a little bit about the SRCA and what they've got going on, because there is some super exciting stuff going on. The SRCA Dragstrip here in Great Bend, Kansas just got a grant to redo the entire drag strip in concrete. This is a huge project. It is so awesome that this is going to happen. And they've got a grant for the drag strip, but it is just for the strip itself. There's a lot of stuff that can happen or that needs to happen to really take this facility to the next level. It's still at the same place. The pits are still the original concrete from the air base. They've had to redo some of the staging lanes. They've redone the starting line area. This is going to be an opportunity to take the history of the SRCA Dragstrip, the history of the NHRA, and what has happened at this facility into the next generation. It's been here for 70-some years now, since the air base was built, and now the drag strip is the chance to go well into the future. The SRCA is a 501c. They're currently trying to raise money to really make this a super top-notch facility. The grant will cover the drag strip itself. However, they want to go ahead and hopefully raise enough money to incorporate full concrete walls all the way down both sides of the strip. Right now they've got concrete barriers, but if they're going to be pouring an entire new concrete drag strip, it would be super awesome if they were able to put full concrete walls along with it. So it's going to be, a laser mapped out, flat, straight surface, top notch. It's going to take what is a huge part of the history of NHRA and drag racing, into the next several generations, hopefully. So I strongly encourage anybody watching to jump on over, check out the SRCA page, check out their website. If you want to donate, that would be awesome. They're looking for donations to help take care of the things the grant will not cover, like the concrete walls, resetting the timing system, things like that. There's a lot of work involved that is going to happen along with the process of resurfacing, or not resurfacing, but completely replacing the drag strip, basically. So I encourage anybody that's interested in this stuff, you like this stuff, check out what they've got going on. Anybody that can, they're, like I said, they're a 501c, they're a nonprofit, so any help is always appreciated. But it's awesome that this is going to happen, and that this little drag strip in Great Bend, Kansas is going to be a premier facility. The SRCA, the Sunflower Rod and Custom Association, the club that actually runs the drag strip, it's different guys, but it's the same club that put on the event in '55. Every one of those guys that goes out there and works every weekend at that drag strip so that everybody can come out and have fun and run their cars is volunteer. They take it out of their own days. They take it out of their own time to make it happen. So they've got an awesome crew that gives of their time so that everybody has this facility to enjoy. And now they've got this grant to replace the drag strip, and hopefully they can generate and raise the money to really put kind of the icing on the cake with the concrete barriers, resetting the timing system, and making all this stuff go. Super excited about it. Check them out. They've got a Facebook page, and it is the SRCA Dragstrip in Great Bend, Kansas. They've got a website. You can check them out on there. And if you're anywhere near, strongly encourage you to come out and check them out next year. They're planning a lot of cool things and a lot of neat stuff happening. So just wanted to throw that in. Check them out. If you're a drag racing buff, you're into drag racing history, there's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, we just got a comment that they do an amazing job and work super hard. Kudos to the SRCA. And that's the best way to put it. They do. Those guys bust their humps out there to make sure those races go off and or work smooth and operate smoothly. And so it's awesome to see that happening. And this grant is super huge, that is really going to make this track a premier top-notch facility. So anyway, check them out if you can. Help them out, and we're always we always support them, and they're great guys, and we're friends with a lot of them, and super awesome of what they do out there on their own time, so people can go out and run cars. So check them out. Thanks for being here, and hope you enjoyed it. Hope you like old drag racing stuff like I do. And we will see you on Wednesday. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.